Hello everyone, my name is Sefer Ali. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Seville. I am studying urbanism and I wanted to give a presentation for my article titled The Evolution of Courtyard Architecture in Persian, Ottoman and Andalusian Architecture. If you move forward to the next slide, the introduction to the courtyard architecture, I don't think it really needs an introduction, but courtyard architecture in each traditions of architecture that I mentioned, Persian, Ottoman, or Andalusian, played a huge role. It wasn't just climatic a space that moderated the weather. It was also a social function. It served a social function, and it also had aesthetic appeal. It also mirrored spatial values and environmental adaptations across all of these three mentioned traditions. If I want to talk about each traditional architecture that I mentioned and how it was integrated in each one, in Persian architecture, it was more of a geometrical garden. The layout that is very famous in Iran is called Chaharbagh, which basically translates to four gardens. It reflected cosmic order, and it was influenced by paradise. It also reflected a divine harmony. The key elements in Persian architecture would be water features that symbolizes purity and represents paradise, like I mentioned. In Ottoman tradition, it focuses on privacy, and also it was a climate control, and it acts like a traditional zone between public and private spheres. The key element in Ottoman architecture was more like a strategic placement of water and moderate microclimates, like the palace of Topkapi. And it also did a spatial arrangement, which was it was a form of reinforcement for social hierarchies. Also, in the same time, it was addressing environmental challenges. In Andalusian architecture, it blends Islamic aesthetics with Roman spatial logic to create balanced and multifunctional areas. The key elements of that would be ceremonial functions, the blend of ceremonial functions with recreational areas, with recreational uses, as you can see in Alhambra Palace in Granada. It also, the form of design in Andalusian architecture evokes both functionality and just a spiritual beauty that all Islamic gardens have. If I want to speak a little bit about our research framework and methodology, it basically divides into three sections. Is comparative historical methodology, which we are basically using qualitative archival research with modern tools, and data collection. We are using archival texts, visual media, field photographs, and basically just detailed architectural plans, like the one that you can see. It's it's a courtyard architecture in a traditional house in Iran. This is one of our findings to just give you guys an idea. Well, you can see the result in the full text, but this is a form of a table that we used and designed in our full text. It shows the differences and the similarities of these gardens divided into different architectural elements. In this section, I wanted to talk about analytical dimensions of courtyard architecture, because it basically divides into three different categories: aesthetic analysis, symbolic analysis, and functional analysis. This is what we thought would be more general and would cover every aspect of this architecture. In aesthetic dimensions, the examination of symmetry and spatial arrangements, and also the importance of light and shadow, it plays a huge part in all of these traditional architectures. And in symbolic dimensions, the analysis of water, geometry, and metaphors for purity, regeneration, and cosmic order. And in functional analysis, the way they used passive cooling, natural ventilation, and social interactions is something that we studied. In this section, I want to talk about the unifying themes and cultural variations. In three different sections. The shared design philosophy that all these architectural traditions have is water, light, and spatial order. These are the core elements of these three architectural traditions. The role of water in the way that it is used as a cooling mechanism, the way that it symbolizes purity and regeneration, and intercultural dialogue, the environmental adaptation of it, and the social function that it played. The suggestions that we have for contemporary urban design is basically it can be explained in three or general sections and categories. The sustainability solutions that the Courtyard architecture offers is that the way is use traditional passive cooling. I think that can be used for today's architecture also. The way it uses airflow, and I think it can be helped. It can be used to help urban heat islands. The urban livability can be improved with the studies of courtyard architecture, because it can create semi-private zones that can promote community and social well-being, and the way it integrates culture into architecture. In the conclusion, I would say the lasting role, the lasting impact of courtyard architecture, the way it used sustainable energy to create ventilations, to create air conditioning, and sociable urban areas. And this cannot really be forgotten. We should study this marvel of architecture further and much more. And I would say in the future research areas, we can include digital reconstruction, 3D modeling, adaptive reuse, and interdisciplinary collaboration. So there are just multiple areas that can be improved, but I think this is our study focuses on areas that haven't been studied before. And again, thank you for your time, and I hope this was helpful.